of thing. What I said to you, I said every time once you recognize it is that one of the square root, which is difference of two squares, or the cube one, you need to know they gave you the other side. Yeah, they gave you what, either this one, the blue, you need to do the red one, that pink one. We good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they won't give you the other one. So there it is. So in my case now, right at the top, because actually, if you test the denominator first, if you put a -2 there, it's gonna, when you square it, is a 4. You put a -2 there, it's gonna be a +4. You see, you got +8 -8, it will be 0. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if you try to factorize this, no matter how you factorize it, the factors won't be the same as the one right at the top. Can you see that? They won't be exactly the same with the one at the top. So you're like, how do I factorize something to a power of a third? So they gave me this part here that has a third. So it means this part here, let's call this one A, this one. Can you see what I'm putting in the bracket? Can you see?
Yes.
That is A to a third. It's this part here, A to N over that. The 2, the -2, it's in the place of the B.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the place of a B. Can you see? Which means it was 3 over the 3. It was a third. It was 3/3. So that's why you cannot see the thing. Is it making sense now?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's because now the A does not come as one term. It comes as collectively as two terms bracketed. Because I think you already know in mathematics, that term in the brackets, the entire bracket, it's one term, though inside there are two terms, but taking it as a whole, it's one term, isn't it, right?
Yes.
Yes, that's your first term. That is the A now. So you need to provide the pink portion for that one. All right, so that's how it is. It's because I want you to nail this exam, this test here. So that means you're going to write, okay, I need to multiply that by the missing part. It's a little bit longer, that one, I know. So you'll be like, oh, okay, I've got this A. I was supposed to square the first one. So in other words, in the bracket, x squared minus 2x to the power 1 over 3, I must square it. In other words, you cannot doing this. To square that, a third and a 2, they multiply together. You basically have to the power of 2/3 there. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Good. That's your A. Now you want A times the B. And then you switch the sign. So that means I need to take the bracket times the -2. It's going to be -2, but whoops, I must change the sign, make it a positive. So it must be +2 times that bracket, which is x to the power of 2 minus 2x, close the parenthesis, to a third. The last term, it's always positive as well. We good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Now I need to square the last one. That 2. It must be squared there. So it's gonna be +4. I hope you can see that.
Yes.
All right. So what we did here, it must also be done right at the bottom. Same story. So I'm supposed to be copying exactly the same thing and place it right at the bottom there. All right, so let me use square brackets there, which is really brackets in a sense. These are brackets. The round one are parentheses. And then I'm doing this. And of course, I must come, I'm making that one in yellow there. Okay, let's use red. It's more clearer. That, and also that one there, and also that one there. I hope you can see.
Yes.
If you got this one, that's it. We have won the battle. All right. Okay? Yeah. Because
Yes.
our job, the top one, you know what the top one is going to be. Let's back off a little bit one more time. I said we had 1 to the power of 3. You can actually manually fall it for yourself. And then minus a b to the power of 3. And then we said you had a minus the b, and then into a squared, and then plus ab, and then plus the b. Maybe I'm going to have to do it slowly for you, or the same. So what you have done, you have actually introduced that part. But when you multiply these two, they must give you that one. Can you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah. That means it's the same thing as like taking the a cubed and then you cube the b. Am I correct? This whole story at the top. Because the whole story at the top, yeah, everything at the top, it's that box in the white. Do you see that?
Yes.
Yeah, instead of taking time and multiply each term one by one, you say, no. I'm just going to look at this one, these two here. I just need to cube each one of them individually, raise them to the power of 3. So it's actually here. Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So there we go. You see, I gave you the crazy ones. Eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know how mean these people are. You study so hard, and then you get familiar to the nice question. You treat everything in a textbook, and they just come with just 2-3 mean ones. You're like, oh my gosh, where do I start doing this thing here?
Yeah.
All right, so when I cube this one, that means the power, a third, it's multiplied by the 3. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
It will fall off. I'm only left with the brackets. So which means I'm only left with x squared minus the 2x, close. Then that one, the minus 2, when you raise it to the power of 3, it's going to be minus 8. Wouldn't it be?
Yeah.
It's going to be minus 8. Let me rather remove this bracket because they don't matter, those parentheses. Yeah. Actually, they matter if I keep it this way. Now, before I write down the denominator, can you see that denominator, x squared minus 2x minus, there is, it's appearing right at the top. Do you see that?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's going to zap out. That's the idea. It's going to zap out. That's the idea. All right. Because everything is in the recording, so I know this yellow zaps out this. So I'm only left with this blue at the bottom only. It's one all over the whole blue portion. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Because what are we saying? We like basically saying all of that will actually delete that portion there. That's what we are saying. You see how sneaky these people are, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so let's go put that. Let me copy the bottom one as is. I don't need to, no need to actually simplify it, because we know now once things cancel, the denominator should work out. All right, this is your stuff that I was saving for previous, sorry. And then at the top, I know I've got 1 because the top is gone. So I've got 1. Now it's time for me to substitute what? Negative 2. All right. So we can do that manually. Then I can say I've got 1 and then over, and then let's just see. If I put a minus 2 here, square it is a 4. All right, let me work out this part. So I'm gonna have a 4, and then if I put a minus 2 there, it's gonna be a plus 4, isn't it right?
Yes.
All right, let's agree it's gonna be 8 now, isn't it right?
Yeah.
So it's 8 to the power of 2/3. We good, right?
Yes.
But you know 8 is 2 to the 3, don't you know that?
Yes.
Yeah, so that third thing, it's 2 to the 3. So the 3 cancel. So you basically have 2 squared, which is 4 for that first portion there. I think you can see that.
Yes.
Are you clear? It's 4. Yeah, we good, right?
Mhm.
All right. So let's go to this one. Substitute a minus 2 here. So let me put that plus on the outside. So we got plus 2 into, when I put a minus 2 there, it's going to be a 4. And then
Yes.
you put a minus 2 there, it's going to be a positive 4. Again, it's giving me a positive 8. Instead of 8, I'll write it as 2 to the 3 because I've got 1/3 there. This cancels there. So can you see you're just left with 2 times 2, which is still positive 4 right there. Can you see that? Good. So this next term, it's also 4. And the last one is also what? It's 4. Can you see that?
Yes.
3 lots of 4 is 12. So the answer is 1 over the 12. There we go. I'm telling you, if you grasp this one, they're in trouble. They're gonna cry. They're gonna like, wow.